Hello, my name is Rafael Francisco Cardona, or as my family also knows me, Felo Panchito Cardona. And if you go to my old school, Pepe, ahí in the workshop. I represent Puerto Rico, nice little tropical island, a lot warmer than here. My pieces, these three, the elephant, as well as the piece of the yo-yos and the little teddy bear, all have that sense of childlike, I want to say innocence, sense of nostalgia. Como trying to remember way back when, como que those sense of toys. Especially as you get older, you start forgetting. Como que, for example, you trade in your bike for your car, you trade in your yo-yo for the pen to sign the checks, and your teddy bear for a nice little suitcase. And you forget about that sense of happiness you had when you were a little kid. And I don't know, it's kind of a shame sometimes. Pero if we were going to get about it, say for example the nice teddy bear when you're a little kid, chico, it's your best friend. You take him everywhere with you, everywhere. Pero as you get older, you either don't need him, forget about him, you leave it in your closet, you leave it in your trunk, in this case, in that nice little toy chest. You just forget about him. At least this piece in particular, this nice little teddy bear, it is one of my best friends, especially when I was a little kid. There's a teddy bear inside this, and basically, after some time, I forgot about him. Shame to say. And I found him after a couple of years. And point of the layer of mosaic is that to sense of preserving that memory, como I don't want to say immortalize, but to preserve it. Yes, como que give it a nice little badass layer of shield. It looks kind of cool. He likes it. I know that for a fact. It's the same with the sense of the yo-yos, for example. Okay, the title piece is untitled, o sea, because of the fact that the actual hand, the piece, la pieza, speaks for itself. It says right here, remember this moment, recordar este momento, which is that moment that when you're a little kid, that sense of play, of games. As you get older, you don't care anymore. You are either with your phone, texting, all that. I could tell you when I was a little kid, I could do yo-yos, walk the dog around the world, even the little cradle. Ask me to do that now, I can't do it. So it's that, trying to remember that moment of happiness, that moment of childlike wonder. When you get older, you forget. Technically leads us to the nice little bike right here. Now tell me, when you're a little kid, all you've ever wanted to do is get in a nice little big beast. Just go, really fast. The only difference is between now and then, I could actually build that big beast and ride it to my heart's content. For example, this, that's why the piece is called fantasy versus reality. The reality of the fact is, when you grow up, you lose that sense of imagination, sense of fantasy, sense of happiness, pure joy, I guess you can say, which honestly, I love it. All you want to do is, and it goes pretty fast. Artistic career, what artistic career? Right now, to be completely honest, I am just starting. This is amazing. This is possibly my biggest exhibition. I studied in the School of Fine Arts, finishing my bachelor's degree, and I want to say probably the biggest exhibition I've ever had was in the sala, the room there in the university. And Puerto Rico isn't really that big to start with. Like I said, right now I am finishing my bachelor's degree. I've been drawing since a little kid, and as I grew up, it's just been like getting, como se dice, desarrollándolo más, more developed, basically, trying to keep that sense, practicing and going. Although, like I said, I've started drawing ever since I was a little kid, pero this sense of 3D sculpture coming out is relatively new. I mean, when I was about to graduate high school, I decided, well, I'll go study art, graphic design. I went graphic design, perfect in the computer, but that sense of 2D-ness. I love photography, I love graphic design itself and drawing. I remember I snuck into the ceramics lab one day. It was empty, I was 16, I graduated very early. I took a piece of clay and I put it in the pottery wheel, como que spin. All right, I can do this, like in the movies, can't be that hard. Out of control, just went spinning up. All right, I will not try that again. And so I just sat down and started working with the clay. And that whole concept of having nothing, or just a simple shape, that the blob of clay, to creating whatever you want, literally to your heart's content. Whatever is flowing through your mind, I find that fascinating. I remember the professor walked in, and I was so scared. I had never been there before. I didn't meet the professor. I haven't met him before. And I was like, okay, he's gonna kick me out. He's gonna kick me out. He's gonna kick me out. Just stay quiet and work. He stands up to me next to me and says, "What are you doing?" And I look at him. I'm not sure yet. Well, keep at it. You're doing good. I'm like, yeah. So went back to Puerto Rico. I remember in the portfolio they asked me, what's your concentration? Sculpture.
Is a attack dog.